Step into the cosmic theater of Stephen Hawking, a man whose intellect staged a brilliant prison break from his own biology. This slide introduces a narrative journey through his life, his groundbreaking science, and the profound paradoxes he unraveled. Visually, the iconic wheelchair acts as a launchpad. From its silhouette, a radiant explosion of golden light carries the secrets of the cosmos, galaxies, geometric constants, and the fundamental equations of reality. Hawking's own words anchor the presentation, highlighting a relentless drive to understand our origins and the why behind existence. It is a portrait of a man who was physically bound to a chair, yet intellectually free to roam the furthest reaches of the depths of the universe. Witness The Trajectory of Defiance, a profound illustration of the paradox defining Stephen Hawking's life from 1963 to 2018. Here, two divergent realities unfold simultaneously. The downward blue curve traces a grueling physical decline following an ALS diagnosis at just 21 years old. Yet, in defiance of a 2-year death sentence, Hawking's intellectual reality, shown in ascending gold, surged toward the infinite. While his body became increasingly confined to a wheelchair, his mind achieved total cosmic expansion. He bridged the chasm between general relativity and quantum mechanics, authoring bestsellers and unraveling the mysteries of black holes. It is a testament to a mind that refused to be anchored, proving that physical limits are no match for a spirit destined for the stars. A life measured in defiance maps the extraordinary chronology of a man who consistently outpaced his own mortality. This timeline balances golden intellectual triumphs against the blue shadows of physical adversity. We see Hawking's meteoric rise, earning his Ph.D., discovering Hawking radiation, and ascending to Isaac Newton's prestigious Lucasian chair. Yet, these milestones are punctuated by narrow escapes, an ALS diagnosis in 1963 and a 1985 tracheotomy that silenced his physical voice. Despite a 2-year prognosis given in his youth, Hawking survived for 55 more years, publishing A Brief History of Time and becoming a global icon. This narrative arc proves that while a body may be subject to the laws of biology, a defiant mind answers only to the stars. Welcome to the intellectual frontier where the old rules of physics were dismantled and rebuilt. This slide, Rewriting the Laws of the Cosmos, contrasts the universe we thought we knew with the revolutionary Hawking universe. We move from black holes viewed as inescapable gravitational traps to dynamic entities that emit radiation and can eventually evaporate. We trade the chaotic breakdown of the Big Bang singularity for the elegant no-boundary proposal. A self-contained cosmos with no edge. Most impressively, Hawking acted as the ultimate cosmic diplomat, merging the massive world of general relativity with the subatomic realm of quantum mechanics. In doing so, he didn't just explain black holes, he paved the path toward a grand unification theory. In Decoding Hawking Radiation, we witness the step-by-step process by which the universe's most formidable traps eventually vanish. The journey begins with quantum fluctuations, virtual particle pairs that blink in and out of existence. At the edge of the event horizon, gravity acts as a cosmic separator. The negative particle is pulled inward, actually subtracting mass from the black hole. Meanwhile, the positive particle escapes into space as thermal energy. This persistent leak, known as Hawking radiation, ensures that black holes are not eternal. Over billions of years, they slowly lose mass, shrink, and ultimately evaporate. Hawking's insight proved that even the darkest corners of the universe have an expiration date. Witness The Evolution of a Global Voice, a technological odyssey that ensured Stephen Hawking's silence was never permanent. This 5-phase journey tracks his transition from the slurred speech of his youth to the total loss of his voice after a 1985 tracheotomy. As physical autonomy receded, ingenuity took over. The slide highlights his shift from a handheld thumb clicker to a sophisticated infrared cheek sensor that captured his final flickers of movement. Ultimately, the Intel synthesizer provided that iconic, robotic cadence we all recognize. This predictive system didn't just grant him speech, it allowed him to author books and lecture globally. It is a testament to how technology can effectively reboot the human spirit when the physical hardware begins to fail. Translating the Universe for the Masses captures the global shockwave sent by Stephen Hawking's 1988 landmark, A Brief History of Time. This slide charts a literary miracle: 237 record-breaking weeks on the bestseller list and over 10 million copies sold across 40-plus languages. Hawking's true brilliance was his accessibility. By famously featuring only one equation, E=mc². He demystified the cosmos for the average reader. The image of a galaxy blooming from an open book symbolizes his greatest achievement, distilling infinite complexity into human wonder. Whether through children's stories or grand designs, Hawking didn't just observe the universe, he invited the world to step inside and explore it with him. Beyond the blackboards and equations, Stephen Hawking emerged as a fixture in the cultural cosmos. This slide explores how a theoretical physicist became a global household name, bridging the gap between elite academia and popular entertainment. We see him transcending the laboratory through iconic television cameos in The Simpsons and Star Trek, where he famously played poker with history's greatest minds. His life's struggle and brilliance reached the silver screen in the Oscar-winning film The Theory of Everything, while his synthesized voice even graced the world of music. Finally, his legacy is cemented through his namesake medal, honoring those who, like him, mastered the art of science communication. Hawking didn't just study the stars, he became one. In The Ultimate Advocate for the Vulnerable, we see Stephen Hawking turn his gaze from the cosmos back to the human condition. This slide highlights his legacy as a fierce social guardian, focusing on his defense of the NHS and his global impact on disability rights. Hawking credited his longevity to public healthcare, famously joining legal battles to prevent its privatization. Beyond policy, he became a symbol of limitless potential. Signing international charters, narrating the London Paralympics, and even taking a zero-gravity flight to prove that the spirit knows no bounds. He was a man who understood that while science explains our world, it is empathy and access that preserve our humanity. Hawking's voice, though synthesized, spoke loudest for those who felt unheard. In Existential Warnings for Humanity, we find Stephen Hawking at his most prophetic. Looking beyond the math, he presents 3 cards of caution for the species he spent a lifetime studying. First, he warns that superintelligent AI could be our final mistake without strict regulation. Second, he paints Earth as a fragile basket, urging us to colonize new worlds to survive the looming threats of climate change and nuclear war. Finally, he cautions against shouting into the dark. Contacting advanced aliens might mirror the tragic colonial history of Earth. Hawking's parting message is a call to action: our survival depends on foresight, research, and the wisdom to listen before we speak to the stars. The Hawking synthesis, engineered by limitation, offers a moving perspective on how Stephen Hawking's profound physical restrictions actually catalyzed his unique genius. This Venn diagram reveals an extraordinary impact born from 3 specific constraints. Because he could not write, his mind adapted to visualize complex problems in 11-dimensional geometry. His voice, slowed to a painstaking 1 word per minute, gained surgical precision, resulting in the witty, concise prose that made him a global icon. Finally, his body's reliance on care stripped away academic detachment, turning him into a fearless advocate for human rights. Hawking didn't just overcome his limitations, he used them as a lens to focus his brilliance, proving that a constrained life can produce an infinite legacy. The journey concludes with A Cosmic Legacy, a poignant tribute to a life that traversed the boundaries of time and space. Stephen Hawking now rests in Westminster Abbey, physically positioned between the legendary Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin, a final, symbolic homecoming among science's greatest giants. While he sought the elusive grand unifying theory, the slide highlights his characteristic humility. He describes his monumental shift in our understanding of the cosmos as merely a small contribution. Visually anchored by the radiant glow of an event horizon, this finale reminds us that though his physical presence has faded, his intellectual light remains a permanent fixture in the heavens, forever guiding humanity's reach toward the ultimate truths of our universe.